Welcome back. Start with Buddha nature. The Buddha said that all sentient beings are Buddhas, meaning that all beings, as I said, right, possess the nature of Buddha. So what we need to do right now is to eliminate and diminish disturbing emotions. Therefore, the Buddha described 5 methods for dealing with disturbing thoughts that arise in daily life. And these methods are practical instructions for how to work with disturbing thoughts and emotions. So I have that. The first method is replacement. Using a positive thought. This is like replacing poison with medicine. When a negative thought arises, the Buddha advised that, consciously replacing it with its the opposite. For example, replace anger with thought of forgiveness. Replace jealousy with thought of rejoicing in others' success. And so on and so forth. The goal is not just to eliminate a negative thought, but to actively cultivate positive on its place. That's the first. And the second method of dealing with disturbing thought is reflection. Reflection. Meaning, understanding what causes harm. When you become mindful of a disturbing negative thought, analyze its consequences, Does it lead to peace or to suffering? Analyze it. Investigate. This method encourages letting go by recognizing the harmful nature of certain thoughts. So it's called reflection. Then the third method is ignore and forget the thought. Meaning, don't fight it, just to move on. Like turn your eyes away from something unpleasant, right? Not looking at something you don't want to see. Some thoughts are too strong to overcome directly, so the best way to eliminate or diminish them is to change your focus. try to change your focus, meaning, redirect your attention to something that really pleasant, right? Do something that helps your mind let go. So that's why it says ignore and forget the thought. But you have to understand how, how to do that. Then, is that third? Yeah. Then fourth method of dealing with disturbing thoughts, emotion is investigate the causes of the thought. This means understanding the conditions that give rise to it. It helps you look into the root of your thoughts and encourages you to question about your thoughts. What triggers it? A memory, a feeling, or a desire, what am I thinking this? What happened a few minutes ago that lead me to think this? That is a more sort of, mindful and analytical approach. And then the fifth method, he recommended is use forceful suppression. If a thought keeps return despite your efforts, you apply willpower and concentration to push it out. We tend to believe that our thoughts are stronger than we are, right? But that is Buddha, according to him, it's not true. So we cannot reduce ourselves to a single thought. We are much more than that and have a far greater potential. So one, gently way to apply this method is to say to yourself, let it go for now, let it go for now, let it go for now. You can also find creative ways to deal with your own disturbing thoughts. First, be aware and set the attention to respond. Then, creative solutions will arise naturally in the mind. Teachers say that. So our mind has the great capacity and great potential. Learning Dharma is not like I would say, Western education, where we mainly learn skills. Instead, it is about transforming the mind and heart. So apply Dharma teachings into your life to see if they work, right? In this way, you will establish a strong foundation, avoid confusions, and develop wisdom. So Buddhism is not just an intellectual concept. Practice is essential to bring Dharma into your heart, your mind. So if you lead your everyday life with mindfulness and compassion, wisdom, bringing as much happiness to others as you can, the natural result will be that you yourself to experience happiness. That is how it is. And that's, both for now and future. Because all this, what do you call it, interconnectedness, we depends on each other. You do something good for others, you will result happiness. And what's most important is being aware of what you are thinking, what you're feeling, saying, and doing, right? Be mindful of your, bodhicitta motivation, and try to bring really, love and compassion into all your interactions with others. Be patient, gentle with yourself. People have this, what do you call, disappointment, and some people feel that they're bad people. That's not true. Look down on yourself. It's in Buddhism, that's not acceptable. So let go of sort of unrealistic expectations, right? Cultivate friendships with people who are also practicing the Dharma. So in this way, you will encourage each other to learn, grow in your practice. Remember, you are responsible for your own spiritual journey. Not depends on Buddha, not depends on your teacher. You have to remember you are responsible for your own liberation, enlightenment, your journey. And do not try to go too fast, or what do you say, take shortcuts, right? It doesn't work. You're not trying to achieve something specific. You are meditating for its own sake, resting in your potential in this moment, development yourself patiently. Meditation is a lifelong journey. That is what gives it both beauty and benefit. Maybe not this life. Maybe if there is a future life. Meditation is maybe not just only this life. Reach enlightenment this very lifetime. It's some people impossible, but that doesn't mean you have no opportunity, no potential. So for example, if you practice bodhicitta, then you die before you reach enlightenment, guaranteed next life you'll be better, if you believe. So you have to be patient with your practice. Patience with yourself will allow you to enjoy the journey all the way. If you practice mindfulness combined with bodhicitta and an awareness of your Buddha nature in your daily actions, daily life, then you will naturally reduce stress, anxiety, for sure, and begin to enjoy your life more. Because this practice gives you the best ability to concentrate and help you to find the best connection to yourself and others. So, when you are having a hard time, remember this practice, okay? Every situation is temporary. Your emotions, feelings, thoughts will change all the time, will change. And, there are three essential elements for developing your practice, your capacity. First, as I mentioned above, your motivation is very important in Buddhism, especially in Mahayana Buddhism. Everything, whether it is positive, it is negative, it depends on your motivation, not your action. So your motivation is very important. A desire to be free from suffering, a wish to understand the truth, and so on. So this motivation help us, continue practicing, right? Without these motivations, many people would stop practicing. I know that. So we need motivation both begin and to stay on the path. That's the first. Second, commitment. Commitment is important because it is a powerful method for developing both bodhicitta, wisdom. It is a powerful method for deepening both your practice and your life. Commitment. Otherwise, life inevitably brings emotional struggles, and without commitment, you might abandon your practice when you are tired, what do you call it, discouraged, But with commitment, you learn to stay present and work through all these challenges in your daily life. Second is commitment, right? Third, your mindfulness, I think. Your mindfulness is important. These elements, essential elements, I'm just telling you this from my own experience. I'm not sure, maybe this good for you, maybe not, but just try and think about it. So what did I say? The third, your mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is important because it gives you the method for engaging fully with your practice. One of its greatest benefits is the quality of present and attention it brings to each moment. Mindfulness helps you notice your inner life with clarity and compassion. Be mindful of this precious moment and remember how short our life may be. Obtaining a human life of freedom and advantages and then dying without having created any kind of virtues, positive, is like really throwing away a precious jewel without ever using it. So this is why mindfulness is one of the most universally recognized keys in day-to-day life and to your practice, not just Buddhism, you know. And it's actually quite amazing that the mind cannot relax for more than a few moments without grasping at distractions, right? Mind is restless. But through mindfulness meditation and the recognition of Buddha nature and of, the precious, this human life, you can experience different qualities of awareness. Totally different. Uh, Awareness, you will experience totally different kinds of, if you do this kind of, I think, meditation, methods and instructions, whatever you call it. One of these is called the experience of complete stability. The final stage in which you are no longer disturbed by thoughts and distractions. At this stage, there are other, subtle experience may also arise in your mind. As the mind reaches the complete sort of stability, practitioners may experience deeper qualities of awareness. This awareness is amazing, Right now, we feel this, we recognize this awareness, but there are many different sort of levels of experience, the awareness. It depends on how strong and deep your meditation is. And there is a deep, unwavering sense of peace. This peace is not sleepy, not dull, but it's totally alive and luminous. You may feel that there is no separation between you and what is being observed. Thoughts might still arise, but they dissolve on their own without disturbing this kind of stillness. And in Buddhism, teachings say there is also a natural, unforced joy that can arise. Not because of external causes, but simply from deep openness of the mind. So this is sometimes described as a great sensation of bliss, and deep comfort. It's amazing. Our mind, if you really focus on it and train, it through your meditation, you may experience a subtle feeling and the mind becomes really peaceful and joyful with satisfaction, There's no longer sort of desire, oh, I want this, I want to achieve this. Nothing. It's just you're completely satisfied and joyful through this kind of meditation, mindfulness. At these stages, you may also experience a great clarity, I'm trying to talk, how to reach this Buddha nature through this different kind of mindfulness and meditation. There's a clarity, right? Clarity. This clarity brings deep self-arising wisdom, a state of equanimity, and the ability to understand how to help others. And as your ability to meditate develops, your mind become more and more settled, and you become very, at that point, very confident in your meditation, at this point. This kind of experience can arise if you continue to practice. So each individual practitioners need to engage in this kind of, process and follow the detailed instructions and methods of the path in order to experience or develop these great qualities and in order to achieve enlightenment. Therefore, it's not enough you receive teachings few times a teacher. That's why the teachers say that you have to how do I say, spend your time with teacher, with a qualified teacher all the way until you 100% take care of. No, you know how to take care. You have the capacity to take care of your mind, your life. Then you become a teacher. You become a, what do you call it? Enlightened being, whatever. Until then, it's just not enough. Receive teachings few times and, practice meditation, a few times. It's not enough. But, this lifetime is extremely precious. Extremely precious because it offers a unique opportunity to practice the Dharma. We have the ability to purify negative karma, develop inner compassion, wisdom. I can't believe it. In the West, there are lots of these people self-hatred. How? I mean, it's so precious. This life is extremely precious. It gives you the capacity and inner sort of this unique opportunity to, develop all these really amazing qualities that we have because of potential. But still, they just hate it themselves. It makes sense. There are lots of different reasons, but they need to understand how precious this life is. So, for whatever amount of time you meditate, even just 5 minutes, try to keep your mind positive, if you experience benefit and joy in what you're doing, then you will naturally want to continue, right? If you keep your mind positive, you will experience enjoyment. Then you want to continue, because we like that. If you experience, negative, then you don't want to do that. Then you just give up. You don't want to do that. So if you experience benefit, that brings joy, right, in your mind. The joy for this, what you call effort, arises from the understanding that life is short and we must make good use of the time we have now, and joyful effort arise from the understanding of the preciousness of your life. The opposite of joyful effort is laziness, or the belief that you are not good enough to practice. You don't believe in yourself. You look down yourself. You hate yourself, which is terrible. Or you may also, feel hesitation about the, you know, ability or possibility of achieving enlightenment. Has anyone in this world ever attained Buddhahood? You may think that. If you say, oh, this meditator is achieved, become a Buddha. If you say yes, then who? Who is Buddha now? Show me, right? Sometimes people are like, very skeptical of this kind of thing. If you say no, nobody achieved Buddhahood, enlightenment, then it may seem impossible for anyone to reach enlightenment. Many people have this kind of, hesitations and doubt. What is really enlightenment? What is Buddhahood? Who achieved? Buddhist teachings emphasize that all beings have Buddha nature, the potential for awakening. So the reality of, the full enlightenment doesn't mean it's impossible, but it simply requires great effort. So in Buddhism, there are different levels of awakening, And Buddhist practitioners experience, gradual transformation. For example, rejoicing and aspiration to free all beings, and deepening their commitment to the path, gaining sort of inner clarity and wisdom, with growing their compassion and no longer harming others, right? Reducing their suffering. You see, these are real signs that the path is working. Don't you believe that? When you practice, when you meditate on compassion and bodhicitta, then you feel like, oh, I don't want harming anyone. Right? Oh, if I practice this and that, I can reduce my suffering, I can eliminate my negative, this anxiety and, suffering, fear, all these kind of things. I can see that, So if this happen, if this happen in your mind through your meditation, that is the real sign that achieving enlightenment is possible. if you can reduce attachment, be patient, happy with yourself and others, reduce negative, actions, harm others. These are real signs that the path is working. Your path is working. Your meditation is working. Even if, you're not yet fully enlightened, right? So, through this kind of sign, enlightenment is possible because of Buddha nature or because of your experience from your meditation. So, don't be skeptical, okay? What is about of this enlightenment? What is Buddhist talk about this enlightenment? Some people misunderstand. Well, enlightenment is when you die, then you go somewhere, okay? Then you be very happy all the time. That's enlightenment. Some people think, enlightenment is impossible. If it's impossible, who enlightened? Who achieved enlightenment? Show me who. Right? No, you don't have to say that. You have to investigate your meditation. Okay, I used to very angry person. Now, because of my meditation, I'm very compassionate. I'm very, loving, and that that that's the real sign. Your path to enlightenment is working. So, in the beginning of spiritual practice, it's important to understand that the mind is the most important thing to work with. And the best way to subdue, to train the mind is through discipline, right? Concentration and wisdom. So when you develop the power to cut through all kinds of negative emotions, you become a truly free person, free person, and there is no greater power than that. That's why we call, when freedom from suffering is achievable, impossible, because you can develop these qualities and overcome all these negative emotions, and then you become a truly free person, and that's what we call enlightenment. Okay, I'm going to stop here. You look, some people are a little bit sleepy. Okay, okay, this is the last session, so maybe we should meditate for a few minutes, if that's okay. Again, I think we are going to do the rest in meditation. So you will, there are many different instructions, but you should alternate between looking at the mind and resting. In order to do that, be comfortable and relaxed. Take a deep breath to settle your mind, your body. And then, look at your mind and let the mind rest without any thoughts, right? Relaxing in this sort of present moment. This is the life. Don't let any feeling or thoughts arise in your mind without recognition. Without recognition. I'm not saying don't let arise thoughts, but don't let any thoughts without recognition, right? Because otherwise you're not you'll not be mindful. So you must recognize the 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 presence of every feeling and every thought. Just recognize. For example, when a feeling of happiness arises, immediately recognize it rather than follow it, because by doing it over and over again, your meditation practice begins to train your how to stay in this present moment without wander away. It can help you learning and how do you say how to continue more open, more present. So always say that people say, right, do not follow the thoughts of the past or the future. Just remain in the present moment. In this way, your meditation can help you to discover, as I said, this sort of inner freedom and peace. So you're looking at your awareness, right? Awareness only. So there are many different levels of awareness, but whatever you uh, experience, when you look at your mind, you see the awareness, right? So your mind is not focused on anything, just look at that awareness and just rest and completely relaxing if you can. If you can, that's okay. Accept everything. Don't think that I am not capable. I can't do it. Don't think that. Just be patient with yourself. So once you have the relaxation, then you should allow yourself to enter more deeply into the experience of the self-awareness and focus orientation on this clear nature of sort of awareness. So you should look deeply into your natural and relax on that as much as you can. And if you have difficult meditation on this, then you should focus on your whatever you want, breath, or you breathe in, breathe out very gently. Just like that, just very gently, very slowly. If you have a hard time to focus on this inner self-awareness, then just relax and just focus on your breath. Breathe in. That if you do that, as long as you do that, you are present. Because in this way you are more and more relaxing, right? So that helps and give you sort of a chance to look at this inner what do you call it, the self-awareness, wisdom. Okay, I'll meditate and two things, right? Look at that awareness. If you are a little bit tired, this is hard, then just to focus on your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Just be mindful, okay? We'll do this for 5 minutes.